Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, my name is Lydia and I post videos basically about my journey through life, experiences, etc. So so my previous video, I've just basically announced that I'm having a baby, I'm pregnant, and yeah, so I would thought to make this video about how I basically told my family the big news and their reactions. As for this video, this type of video, I actually did not record the videos, the film, the actual reactions when I told my family the news. I just told them, I just told them in person, well, most of them in person. And so I'm just gonna basically just tell you how it all went. And yeah, so basically that's all about it I was going to share. So I was, how many weeks was I? It was like a week later when I got confirmation that, I'm having a baby. I think it was about, 8-9 weeks ish. That's when I actually went to get my, actually after I got my blood test results confirmed that I'm pregnant, I was I was freaking out. I was so nervous. Oh my gosh, excuse my yawning. I slept late last night, so I couldn't sleep. It's just a pregnancy thing that I'm going through. I slept late. I didn't sleep late intentionally. I slept late because I couldn't sleep until late. Anyway, so I told my parents, obviously privately with no one around. I told them in person, of course. And before I told them, I was freaking out. I was so nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, I probably need to tell them the news. And what was going through my mind is I was like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. I probably should tell them. And I told them the news. And and then I was I honestly was so emotional. I just felt I don't know, from before I told them before I told them the news, I was feeling really nervous, really scared of what they would think. But yeah, after I told them, while I was telling them as well, I was just crying my eyes out, not loudly crying, but tears were coming down my face, my eyes, and yeah, I was just being really, really emotional. And sometimes I couldn't even say what I wanted to say, because when you're crying and then you want to say something, but then you just want to keep crying until you finish crying, then you're able to talk and say words. So that was happening to me. So I was crying, being emotional. And yeah, I told my parents the news, and yeah, my parents were 100% supportive. And yes, they were, and then I was actually, then I remember, I think it was my dad asking me how you feeling, because basically I was crying in front of them. And I was I was actually literally told them I was scared to tell you guys, kind of thing. And and then I was saying I was thinking how am I supposed to raise this kid when I'm not financially, I'm not financially ready to have a kid, even though I had the responsibility of I could have taken something after I did the work. Even after I did it with that person, with the father of the baby, but I didn't. And yeah, so to my parents. And yeah, but then after I told them, I had like a huge relief. After I told them, like I just felt so much, 100%, like 1000% better after I told them. And then from then, that was like, I think I was about over a month now. I was about over a month having pregnant. Yeah, and after that I just felt like 1,000 times better. Keep in mind, this time I was actually still living in like I don't know what side that is of Sydney, but it was like around Campbelltown area, so it's like further away from here, and I was living there back then. So hence the reason why I moved back in with my parents, financially and also like physically and mentally preparing myself, you know, to be a mother. So yeah, yeah, so that is it. So that's how I told my parents. They were the first one to know. And then I think my mom mentioned like from 3 months of being pregnant, then you can like tell family, like, you know, my siblings, and like some of my parents' siblings. Well, technically it was mainly my mom's siblings because they live in Australia as well. I mean, they live in Sydney. So that happened, and I told them the news. Well, hold on. So after I told my parents the news, then I told, what did I tell? I told my older brother as well. Well, technically I'm the youngest, so I told one of my brother's partners. So I told my sister-in-law, because they live here with my parents as well, and me. So I told them when I basically hit the 3 months mark of my pregnancy. So I told them, well, technically we were like chilling. I remember specifically, I was waiting for them. I don't know, I think, oh yeah, we were in the kitchen, and I remember specifically, yeah, I was telling my sister-in-law, and I was like, I don't know, we were randomly talking about something. They were also like, they were preparing dinner, and my niece was there, and I was yeah, I told my sister-in-law, I'm like, oh, guess what? And then my sister-in-law's facial expression was actually pretty funny, because she was like giving me that like face like, what? And I think she had like, she kind of assumed or thought that it is like what I think that she might gonna, that she's gonna like the news. Like she knew, like she probably knew that what I was gonna say, like she knew it. So, and that made me laugh. And then she's like, what? And yeah, then I told her the news, and then she's like, no way. It's like, yeah, really. And then yeah, she hugged me, and then yeah, obviously like she said congratulations. And then obviously my brother was there as well. And then yeah, she said congratulations, and I was a little bit teary. And then my niece was there. She's only like 4, and yeah, so I was like telling her, oh, you're gonna be a big cousin. Well, big cousin slash big sister, like cousin sister. And but obviously she didn't understand that. She only understood the fact that they were pregnant. So, and then when my sister-in-law told her, my niece, I was like, oh, Nay's pregnant. Then she looked at my stomach. It was so cute. So yeah, I told them just because they are living here. I mean, I could have told my oldest brother, but they had their own place back then. And yes, after that same week, I actually told my oldest brother and my sister-in-law. So it's my other brother and my other sister-in-law. Then yeah, that same week, it was during the weekend. I also obviously still working, and then I was like messaging my oldest brother. I was like, oh, are you home, are you working, blah blah blah. And it's funny because my brother like did not even think twice that, you know, about like why I kept asking, like, you know, if both of them gonna be home at the same time, blah blah blah. And yeah, so after that I went, I don't remember what day it was in the weekend, but I also didn't record, I also didn't record the reaction of when I told my my brother and sister-in-law that staying here with my parents, and I also didn't record when I went to share the news with my oldest brother and my sister-in-law. But my oldest brother was home, but my sister-in-law was at work. But that weekend we went to, hold on, yeah, that weekend, yeah, I went to visit them to share the announcement, and plus they live close by back then. So I went to, yeah, basically I went there, and then I was like, oh, you know, call Martha, which is my sister-in-law, my older sister-in-law, and she, yeah, we were video calling them. And then I shared the news with obviously when my brother was at home, like he was there in person with me, but my sister-in-law was on video call. And then I was like, guess what? And then yeah, then my brother had no clue at all. I was like telling him like, you want to guess the news? And they're like, oh, like he had no idea at all. Like none of my brothers knew anything at all. And then yeah, I was like, what did I say? I think I had to say I'm having a baby or I'm pregnant. No, I think I said I'm having a baby. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I said one of those two words. And then all of a sudden, like, yeah, my brother just became, my oldest brother, yeah, became like emotional and happy, like very, very happy. And then that made me emotional at the same time. But when I said the news at that very second, my sister-in-law didn't hear, because I think, yeah, and then my brother repeated the news to her. And yeah, so from then on it was a very sweet, special moment, yeah, sharing those news. Sorry, my nose is a bit like stuffy at the moment. Probably should open this window. But yeah, that was my moment. I also told another brother of mine, but he lives like, where does he live? Hold on. He lives like a few hours away, so obviously I couldn't be bothered like driving all that way, and plus he doesn't really want people to know where he lives, and he's just a weird human being. But yeah, anyways, so I told him, I mean, I actually did attempt to call him, but he's just, the person just doesn't want to answer calls. So I just messaged him saying like I'm having a baby, and he just said congratulations and stuff. But yeah, that's for my immediate family, telling them the news. See, it was a very special moment telling my brothers as well. Yeah, I guess that's my story of me telling my brothers, yeah, the big announcement, which is me back then telling them that I want to be having a niece or nephew. But obviously in the previous video I've mentioned that I want to be having a boy. What else is there? I think that's about it actually. Yeah, so both of my parents are the oldest from their siblings, so I told my mom's younger brother and their family, because I'm pretty close to them. And yeah, I told them, and yeah, they were shocked but happy at the same time, saying congratulations and stuff. And yeah, so yeah, that was the big news. Who else did I tell from the family? I'm sure I want to share with you guys, basically like telling my family that I'm pregnant, especially from when I first told my parents. So yeah, that's about it. So thanks guys so much for watching. I hope this will bring, I don't know, just thanks guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next new video, and take care and love you guys. Bye everyone.